Hello students. In this video we're going to look at the area of semicircles, or calculate the area of semicircles. So just a quick reminder that the area of a circle is pi r to the second power. So a semicircle is actually half of a circle. So that would mean that the area for a semicircle would be pi r squared divided by 2. So let's take a look at a couple examples here. So for this problem here, our I do problem, I want you guys to notice that the radius is 30 feet. We're asked to calculate the circle of calculate the area of the semicircle. Okay, so we're going to use area equals pi r squared, and then we'll divide that by 2. So again, for pi, we'll use 3.14. For radius, we're going to use 30, so we're going to multiply 30 times 30. And then when we're done, we'll divide that by 2. So let's take a look at what that answer would be. So 3.14 times 30 times 30 equals 2,826. And then we'll take 2,826 and divide that by 2. And that will be 1,413. And that'll be square feet. Okay. All right, so let's move on to our we do problem. So as you can see on this problem, we weren't given a radius, we're given a diameter of 7.5 yards. So to find our radius, we'll take 7.5 and divide that by 2. So let's see, what is that when we plug that into our calculator? 7.5 divided by 2 equals 3.75. Okay, so now let's plug that into our formula for the semicircle. So area equals pi times radius squared divided by 2. So pi is 3.14 times 3.75 times 3.75, and then we'll divide all of that by 2. So we have 3.14 times 3.75. And then we will take that answer and divide that by 2. And we end up with 22.08 yards squared. All right, guys, I'd encourage you to pause the video and copy this down, and then when you're done, go ahead and attempt the 2 you do questions. So the radius of 4 1/4 can be written as a decimal as 4.25. Our area formula is going to be pi r squared divided by 2 because we're looking for the area of a semicircle or half of a circle. Then we'll substitute our numbers, 3.14 for pi and 4.25 for our radius. So we're going to multiply 4.25 times itself. And then when we're finished with that, we'll divide our answer by 2. Okay. And then we'll round our answer off to the hundredths place, so that'll give us 28.86 square yards. For our second U-do, the radius is 20.2 inches. Our formula is A equals pi times the radius squared divided by 2. For pi, we'll substitute 3.14. And for our radius, we'll multiply 20.2 times 20.2. When we're all finished, we'll divide that answer by 2. And so when we round this answer, we would have 640.62, and this would be inches squared. Go ahead and pause the video, make sure you have all this in your notes, and then we'll move on to the next section. All right, students, so let's move on to the next section, which happens to be find the area when you're given the circumference. So just a quick reminder that we need the radius to find the area of a circle or a semicircle because the formula involves using the radius. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use our circumference formula to find the radius, and then we will use that answer to find the area. So here we're given a circumference of 13 feet. So we'll use our circumference formula, and we'll use 2 pi r because we're looking for radius. So let's put in 13 pi for our circumference, and we'll leave the pi symbol as it is. To solve for radius, we'll divide by 2 and pi. So the radius would be, so the pi's are going to cancel out, that equals 1. 13 divided by 2 is going to be 6.5. So then we'll use that radius to find the area. So here we've got a radius of 6.5 feet. Our area formula for a circle is pi times the radius squared. We'll leave pi alone because it says to express our answer in terms of pi. but we will need to multiply 6.5 times 6.5. So let's see here. What is 6.5 times 6.5? $42.25. So the area of this circle is 42.25 pi feet squared. So I would pause the video real quick and record my notes. All right, moving on to the we do problem. Again, we're given a circumference, 14 pi. We're looking for the radius, so let's use our formula that has radius in it. Here we're given the circumference is 14 pi, so let's substitute that. We'll leave our 2 pi as it is. So let's divide by 2 pi. That leaves us with r equals pi divided by pi is 1. 14 divided by 2 would be 7. So we have a radius of 7 yards. We'll use our formula. Area equals pi times radius to the second power. Again, they want the answer in terms of pi, so we'll leave pi alone. Pi times 7 to the second power. 7 to the second power is 49. And let's rearrange this. 49 pi yards squared. All right, so let's move on to our you do problems. Go ahead and pause the video, work those out. So here we have a circumference of 22 pi. We're going to use our circumference formula to find the radius. So C equals 2 times pi times radius. So let's substitute. Again, we'll leave pi alone as it is because we're going to express our answer in terms of pi. Let's divide by 2 pi to isolate r. Pi divided by pi is 1. 22 divided by 2 is 11. So as we can see here, we have a radius of 11 meters. Let's plug that into our area formula. Pi times the radius squared. That's going to be pi times 11 squared. 11 squared is 121. Again, we'll rearrange that so that we have our number in front of the pi symbol, and that would be 121 pi, and this is meters squared. Moving on to our second you do problem, we have a circumference of 16 feet. So let's use C equals 2 pi r here again because we're looking for the radius. So we'll plug in 16 pi for the circumference. Leave the 2 pi as it is. 1 divide by 2 pi. So that tells me that the radius equals 8